My name is Rob Dauster. That gentleman you see bringing back the cow hat, making cow hats great again, is the one and only Jeffrey Goodman. Jeff, I got to ask you a question.
Yes.
Last night, you made the decision to bet on Arizona State and to bet on Arizona.
I did not.
How did that work out for you?
That is not true.
How did that work out for you?
I can show you. I ended up going with you with Stanford, and I said that. And I flip-flopped and took Cal on the points.
Good. So you listened to me. You're welcome.
That's why I'm wearing the hat.
You're welcome.
That's why I'm wearing the hat, baby.
I can't believe Cal covered because Matt Bradley missed roughly 867 free throws in the final minute. But they got it done, man.
Did you watch
it
the end?
Done. Yeah.
You did?
Yeah. They got it done.
Did we – I don't even remember. So, Austin P, did they cover or did they push for you?
So
or you went the other way. You went against me.
No, I had Belmont, and I got a push on the actual bet that I made because I got it at 5. But when I put it in bet spurts, I got it at 5.5. So I did not get that bet, but I also did get the team total over for Belmont. So Mitchell, if you're scoring at home, you better give me the W for the Belmont team total over. Okay, Mitchell, if you're listening.
Mitchell's busy. He's busy down there.
He's probably not. He got a full-time job. He doesn't hang out with us anymore. I'm devastated.
I know. It's very disappointing. Mitchell, you got to come back. You got to come back.
Come back. Producer Mitch, what are you doing to me, man? Leaving me out here in the cold. You're making me deal with this guy all by myself, Mitchell. That's what you're doing. I want you to
understand. How much do we really have to go through last night? I mean, like, it's easy, right? Like, Rutgers pounded the shit out of Michigan State by like 100. Michigan State scored how many points? 37?
Well, we need to talk about that. So
what are you doing over there?
Okay, so I'm going to show you what happened. This is actually pretty funny. So I have a Clay Davis bobblehead that when you
a what? Who?
It's Clay Davis from The Wire, but my son dropped his head the other day. So I tried to super glue it and leave his head. See, he's got a busted head.
Yes.
So I tried to super glue it on, and it fell off right now while we were sitting there talking. So
I need to get some good bobbleheads. I think I need like something behind me with a bunch of good bobbleheads.
I have. Oh, my wife threw them out. I had a 2 Holloway one and a Doug McDermott one. And my wife threw them out because both of them were broken. Look, here's the best part about if you get bobbleheads right now, you don't have children that think they're the greatest toys in the world, and they're probably not going to end up getting broken. Like I had 3 bobbleheads.
All of them not get broken. Trust me.
Right. No. Anyway, back to the subject at hand.
Yes.
We need to talk about Michigan State because what happened last night? Was that the result of a team that just spent however many days? What was it? 2.5 weeks in quarantine? 20 days in self-isolation and quarantine in a hotel room where COVID kind of ripped through the team? Or was this a sign of something bigger with the Michigan State program?
Well, judging by the fact that their net rating right now is 101, which is 21 points lower than Kentucky's and 19 points lower than Duke's, I would say it's an indication more of overall Michigan State. But I think it's both. I think obviously you can't discount their scoring woes last night. I mean, 37 points is I can't even believe it from having a 20-day layoff. But they're not good. They're not good. Their point guard play, again, the one common denominator among Kentucky, Duke, and Michigan State is all having lackluster point guard play for the most part. And you can't win at a high level consistently. You can win a game here, a game there. You can beat crappy teams, but you're not going to beat good teams in conference play without quality point guard play, and none of them have it.
Yeah, I'm with you there. And Michigan State is very much a flawed team. And I don't even know if at full strength they would go into the RAC and beat Rutgers. But this, to me, was very much a performance of a team that was coming off of a pretty bad COVID shutdown.
I mean, it was like 17-2 out of the gate. Like, I'd love to know that. What the first 10 minutes of any team that's had a shutdown of more than 14 days.
So for the most part, like it's all going to be anecdotal, but where I've had success with this is betting leaving the first half alone and then just betting the second half. Because what I've seen is like these guys, you come out and you got your adrenaline,
energy, you're excited.
Yeah, and you got your legs. It's like, I'm finally back on the court. I'm not in a hotel room anymore. And you come out and you're jumping for like 20 minutes. And then you go to that locker room and then you sit down and then there's like the pause and everything kind of relaxes. And you have to go back out there and get yourself re-energized again. And all of a sudden you're like, wow, I don't have the energy that I thought I was going to have. My legs are gone. Maybe I'm not in shape. Maybe it's very obvious I just spent 8 days trapped in a hotel room doing nothing but like burpees on the hotel room floor. So to me, it's been fading these teams in the second, regardless of what happens in the first half, fade them in the second half.
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, listen, I just maybe Michigan State can make a run and get in the tournament because the Big Ten is so good. I just hope the committee doesn't say like, well, because of ratings, if Michigan State is close or Duke is close, we're going to take them. Like, I hope they don't pull that shit this year. To me, again, I don't know, and we can talk about this. It's a good segue into, to me, the most important win last night was Stanford at Arizona. Mm-hmm. I really believe that. And I wrote something about Stanford, and I really hope that the committee gives Stanford the benefit of the doubt. They're good anyway. They are. They've proven. They've got some good wins. They just went into Tucson and McHale and beat Arizona pretty good. And Arizona was
honestly, I don't think that you have to worry about it with Stanford. Like as long as they didn't do anything horrible the rest of the season, like they have what? They have 11 games left. Yeah. As long as they win like 6 of them, I think that they're probably in.
I hope you're right.
And they have 5 games against Cal, Washington, and Washington State. You win those, and then you get.
That's a good call.
You win those 5. You beat Utah. You beat Arizona State on Saturday, and you get one. You get one of USC, Colorado, or Oregon, and they're in. You got to remember the first game of the season. You probably don't even remember this.
Oh, I do.
First game of the season, they beat Alabama by 18.
I do. That's a great win now.
They swept Arizona on the road, or they swept Arizona, including a win on the road. Yep. Right? Yep. They got a win over UCLA. So it's they're as long as they don't do anything horrible the rest of the year, they're in. And the thing about them is they might be better without all those guys.
Well, the big question, does Zaire Williams come back? I know I said some things about Jalen Johnson that were a little cryptic earlier this year. But there was some thought that Jalen Johnson was not going to be back at Duke. My sources, there's some thought that Zaire Williams is not going to be back at Stanford. So
yeah, I've heard similar things that he kind of proved himself. He wasn't getting the attention that he thought that he would get playing in the Pac-12, and the biggest thing was just like the toll of living in a hotel it's just like it's straining on you. And another thing that I've heard, and you can probably speak to this a little bit more, is that like not everyone on that Stanford team was getting along all that well, which is part of the reason why, like, okay, maybe some guys are missing, and now they're more connected. They're winning games. Like this, look, even without Zaire, without Dejon Davis, and even without Bryce Wells, like there are still some really good players on. Like Oscar De Silva's a stud.
Yes.
Right. Jaden Dallaire is a good player. Spencer Jones can do things. Like he's a useful guy.
Donald, the freshman point guard's pretty good.
So there's still good players on that roster. So it's even without those guys, I still think that they're probably good enough to be a tournament team. And obviously, they just beat UCLA and they won at Arizona without those 2 guys.
Without them, that's right. Now they're not deep. That's going to be the issue. Is if they have any other, injuries or whatnot. Can they withstand them? They're not deep right now, but
you gotta kind of hope like, okay, we weather the storm. Eventually, we are going to get Dejon and Bryce Wills back, as long as it's not a disaster. And then, hey, you know what? If they're getting back on the campus and Zaire Williams comes back and he's rejuvenated and he's like, okay, I got home, I saw my family.
I don't think it's Zaire. I don't think it's Zaire. What's going on? I think it's somebody in his ear. It usually is.
No, that's absolutely what it is. So when you have the combination of someone in your ear. Right. You have the combination of You're not getting the attention you expected, and you combine all of that with the fact that like you're not living on campus, you're living in a hotel.
Right.
Like that sounds awful.
And you're
I don't
still
I
a
don't
lottery
blame.
pick. No
Yeah,
matter what you have or have not done this year on the court, you're still a lottery pick. You have not hurt yourself.
yes, exactly, and
So
that's
far
why I'm
this
like,
year.
okay, I'm like, if he does not enjoy what he's doing, right, then like go ahead. You know, like go ahead and do what you got to do to make yourself happy, man. Like I get it. Living in a hotel for however many months sucks, right? And if you're like, if I just go home and work out, like I'll be just as good, and I'm still gonna get picked high, and I'm not gonna have to deal with this shit that I hate doing. Like, can't really hate on anybody for that too much. All right, you got anything else from last night?
Kansas finally winning. It wasn't pretty. It was really ugly, but they at least snapped their 3-game losing streak against TCU at home. And again, listen, this Kansas team, I'm not completely ruling them out, but the more I see of them, the more I'm like, they're just not that good. And people kill me because I got them 10th right now in the poll. I got them 10th.
That's because your ranking. This is proof positive that your ranking system sucks. You don't rank how good you think teams are. You basically do Gary Parrish's job for him. That's all you do. You just rank resumes. Resumes don't matter. I want to know your opinion. You're supposed to be a basketball savant, not a guy that looks at spreadsheets, not a guy that looks at KenPom numbers, not a guy that says, "Oh, look at this great win. Oh, you know what? They beat Creighton by 1, and I think Creighton is a top 5 team in America."
You have to do it that way.
Remember that win you got over Kentucky? Oh, that's such a great win you got in the Champions Classic. This is the exact problem with your ranking system.
No, you got to do it. You got to do it based on.
No, people want your opinion. They don't want you. They don't want to see the Jeff Goodman version of Joe Lenardi's resumes. That's what you're doing.
Yeah,
you're basically Joe Lenardi. I'm going to start.
You got to do it based on accomplishment. It's got to be based on accomplishment. It can't be.
I'm going to start calling you Bracket Jeff. That's what you are. You're Bracket Jeff.
I mean, you would have right now, honestly, if Kentucky wins a couple in a row, you would put them in the top 15. You would. If they go out there and win a couple in a row.
Top 15. I would not put them in the top 15. But if they won like, I don't know, like 5 in a row, 6 in a row, like let's say they win these next 3 games that they play, right?
Yes.
And like they win them all impressively, like everything clicks. And Brandon Boston,
they just look awesome.
Yeah, and Brandon and they beat.
Terrence Clark comes back. He's rolling.
Yeah, and they go out and they beat who they got. So on Saturday they beat Texas by 20, right? Then they go into Missouri and they beat Missouri by 10. Then they get Tennessee at home next Saturday and they win that game by 10. Then they then they get Arkansas at home.
Now let's just say the next 3. Let's just say the next 3. They beat Texas, Missouri, and Tennessee. I'm telling you, and if they beat them all convincingly, you'd have them in the top 15.
If they won all 5 of those games, right? If they get all the way to Auburn,
I'm not even getting to 5. I'm just getting to 3. Give me
what
happens.
What I'm saying is if they get all the way to 5, first of all, like if they win those 3 games, then I think it's pretty safe to say that, yes, they are, like at the moment, they are one of the 25 best teams in the country. If they win all 5 of those games and they get to 10 and 11, then maybe they are. Maybe I would actually consider it because I rank the top.
And you're a moron. You're an absolute moron.
Because you think that games that happen in November have any bearing on things that are happening right now. And yes, when it comes to the NCAA tournament, you are absolutely right.
You can't just throw them away.
I'm not throwing them away, but you're asking me to rank the top 25 teams in America at the moment. Not do an NCAA tournament bracket. You're bracketing for an NCAA tournament.
That's so stupid. Why isn't Stanford in your top 10? First
of all, I haven't done rankings all season long.
Right?
You're the one that does the daily rankings. And your rankings are horrible, and everybody knows it, and you can't deal with it on Twitter. But if you think that games that happen on November 29th in the middle of a pandemic,
they matter,
not scrimmage, have any bearing? If Kentucky wins these next 5 games, right?
Yeah.
You tell me that Kentucky's not one of the top 25 teams in the country, then I'm going to have to kick you out of the field 68. Sorry. Well, I'm going to go get somebody else.
The good thing is, they're not going to win the next 5 games, so we don't have to worry about that.
It's a mute point. All right, let's talk about tonight's slate. There's one really big game that we do need to discuss, and that is Iowa at Illinois.
Yeah,
Iowa is favored by, I believe it's 2, Jeffrey. I believe Iowa is favored by 2.
Is Iowa
favored? What do you like in this spot?
Is that right? Hold on. I feel like Hold on.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was getting to it's Illinois minus.
Right. You're all screwing me up because I took Illinois. I took Illinois favored by 2. Iowa coming off that loss to Indiana. Both teams haven't played in a little bit. They've had some games canceled. Last game for Illinois was the 19th. Last game for Iowa was the 21st. So they've both been out for a little bit here. I just feel like the matchup is pretty good for Illinois. And at home, I think they're going to win this one. The team split last year, both winning at home. The one thing you say with Iowa, if they win, they're winning big. 12, I believe 10 of the last 12 wins have come by more than 15 points. I don't anticipate them winning big in Champaign. In fact, I think Illinois wins this game. I think it's a tough matchup for Iowa's guards. And I'm not sure they're going to be able to contain whether it's Io, whether it's Curbelo, and some of those guys. And again, listen, the one guy that Kofi can match up against is Luka Garza. Now, Luka can step out. It's not easy for him when Luka steps out and shoots those threes. But to me, I'd much rather have Luka out there shooting threes. Go ahead. Take him all day long. If you're going to make him at the clip you made him earlier in the year, you're gonna win. Maybe you're not. Maybe you give him his 30. Who cares? You want to get him out there in the 3-point line, that's fine. But to me, if Luka's down low, that's what you want if you're Kofi in Illinois.
Yeah, and the thing that we look for in matchups against Iowa are teams that have dribble penetration and guys that are able to get to the rim off the bounce. Got teams that run a lot of ball screen stuff, and that's what Illinois does. Like I love Illinois in this spot. The other thing that we definitely need to talk about with this is that Kofi Coburn and Luka both draw a ton of fouls. So will Kofi be able to get Luka in foul trouble? And if you get Luka in foul trouble, that completely changes everything that Iowa wants to do. So that's certainly something that's got to weigh into the conversation as well. But yeah, I think that the ability that Illinois has with their guards to break people down off the dribble and to get all the way to the rim is exactly what you want when you're playing against a team like Iowa. So I really like Illinois in this spot. I think that's probably my favorite bet of the night.
Listen, I mean, the 2 other good games, there's 3 good games, and I kind of like all 3, which I can't remember the last time I said that. St. Louis at Richmond. St. Louis coming off they had like a 30-plus day pause, came back, played Dayton the other day, and got smacked, right? I don't remember what the final was, but Dayton was in control pretty much the whole game. So St. Louis is a team that top 25 team, right? They go to Richmond tonight. Richmond hasn't been great this year. They need this one desperately for their NCAA tournament chances. They know that. This is the biggest game of the season for Richmond, period. If they win this, to me, they're on the right side of the bubble. If they lose this, they're probably on the wrong side of the bubble. It's really an opportunity for the Spiders. So I like Richmond here. I've liked Richmond all year and even the preseason. Given 1 to St. Louis. Again, I just think St. Louis has been out for so long, it's going to take them a couple weeks to get back.
Yeah, if I was going to bet this game, I would lean Richmond, but I'm staying away.
Okay.
I just don't think Richmond's very good. So that's my biggest concern. And
they beat your Kentucky team.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Kentucky's terrible, dude.
You were just trying to tell me how you're going to put them in the top 25 next week when they win 5 straight.
Yeah, if they win 5 straight, then then anybody that actually has any sense of basketball acumen and can watch games and can understand what teams are and how good they are based on the way that they're playing, based off of what you're seeing. Like if you have any semblance of basketball IQ and you watch Kentucky beat those 5 teams, and you don't consider saying that they're one of the top 25 teams in the country at the moment, and you stick to only ranking resumes, it's proof that you just don't know basketball at all and don't know what you're watching and don't know what you're seeing on the floor. You don't even realize that I'm taking shots at you right now, so I'm going to keep it moving.
No, I'm killing you on Twitter, so it's okay.
Yeah. All right, so there's 2 other bets that I really, really like tonight. The first is going to be Ohio +3 at Buffalo. Obviously, Ohio's got Jason Preston back. I think the development of the freshman, what was his name, Mark Sears, to allow them to have the 2 guard looks is something that will really help.
Yep.
And then I'm bringing it up, but last year, Ohio played well against Buffalo twice. They beat them the second time by 11 points at home, despite the fact that they were a team that finished like under 500 in league play, and Buffalo was one of the best teams in the conference. So I like Ohio there. The other one that I love is a little bit off the board, but I like North Dakota State laying 2 at UMKC. UMKC has been without Marvin Nesbitt, who's one of their best guards for since the shutdown since January 9th. And they will be without Brandon McKissick tonight, who is their leading scorer. He scored 20 in the last 2 games, scored double figures in every game this season. That was against a Division I opponent. And today, Billy Donlin said there's a 95% chance that he doesn't play because he's got a shoulder injury. So give me all of the Fighting Dave Richmonds in that spot.
All right, I'm gonna stick in Dakota, but I'm going to South Dakota for mine, and they're playing Omaha. Omaha's last game came January 9th. That is a 20-day break. We just saw what Michigan State did with a 20-day layoff. So I'm going to take South Dakota there, giving 8.5 points. And then the last one I like is you got to go. Come on. You're really not going to go with the nightcap tonight. The quality nightcap, Boise State at Colorado State. Colorado State beat them in the first game, right? Beat them at home.
Mm-hmm.
In a big one. I mean, beat the crap out of them. You're not going with Leon Rice and company there and Derek Alston to get him back and get the split. They're only giving 1.5.
I thought about it, but then you know what that means you have to do? It means you have to fade the Fighting Nico Medveds, and I can't.
You can't do that.
I can't fade the Fighting Nico Medveds.
I'm going to do it today.
I think it's a mistake, man.
I don't see them sweeping Boise in this one, but maybe they will. I mean, again, I just think we got 3 good games tonight, like 3 interesting games, 3 very meaningful games. Again, Richmond, St. Louis, both teams kind of need that one in a way, because if St. Louis doesn't get it, you're going to start hearing the talk, well, you know, are they really a tournament team? And it's unfair because of the pause, but you're going to hear it. Boise, you want to be an at-large? You got to win this game against Colorado State. You can't get swept by them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so to me, again, 3 really good games. So those are my I'll give you my 5 total. I got one. So I also got, all right. So I got Richmond, I got Illinois, I got Boise, I got South Dakota, and I got one more. What was my other one? Santa Barbara. Santa Barbara tonight against UC Davis, given 8.5. And I'm going to jump on you with the. I think I'm gonna jump on that North Dakota State one too.
Yeah, you gotta.
I am. I'm gonna.
Always, if there's one thing and one motto that I live by, it's always trust in Dave Richmond.